Let me paint you a picture. Someone you know, maybe a friend, maybe a coworker, maybe you, finally lands the salary they always chased, the number they used to whisper about like it was some finish line. And for about 3 weeks, everything feels different. The stress lifts. The future looks clear. They feel like they finally made it. 18 months later, they are stressed about money again. Not the same stress as before. It is quieter, more embarrassing, harder to explain. Because how do you tell someone you are financially anxious when you are earning more than most people in your city? How do you admit that despite the raise, the promotion, the impressive title, you're still living month to month and one unexpected bill away from genuine panic? Here's what I want to ask you directly. Is that you? Not someone like you specifically. Are you earning more than you ever have and somehow feeling no more financially secure than when you were making half of it? Does your bank account at the end of the month look almost identical to what it looked like 3 years ago, just with more zeros in the salary and more zeros in the expenses? If the answer is yes, I need you to understand something before we go any further. The problem is not your income. The problem is that everything you were taught about what wealth looks like is wrong. You have been spending years optimizing for the appearance of financial success without realizing that the appearance and the reality are two completely different things, and nobody sat you down and told you that. That's what this video is actually about. Not budgeting tips you already know and ignore, not generic advice about cutting subscriptions, the specific lie underneath all of it. My name is Lyra, and I became genuinely obsessed with one question a while back. Why do people who finally start earning real money still end up with nothing to show for it? Not occasionally, not in rare cases, almost predictably across income levels, across industries, across cities. Smart, hard-working people reach the salary they always wanted, and somehow the financial freedom never follows. And the answer I kept coming back to is uncomfortable. It's not laziness, it's not ignorance, it's a belief most of us absorbed so early and so completely that we never thought to question it. The belief is this, that income and wealth are the same thing, that earning more automatically means having more, that once you hit a certain salary, financial stress is supposed to dissolve and security is supposed to follow naturally. That belief is the most expensive lie in personal finance. And I want to be clear, it's not an accident that almost everyone believes it. There are entire industries built on you confusing the two. But we'll get to that. If you're tired of earning well and still feeling behind, subscribe to Lyra Invests. This channel exists specifically for the gap between making money and actually building something with it. Let's start with the math that nobody actually does out loud. Most people believe that earning a solid income means having money left over at the end of the month, that at a certain level, saving becomes easy, investing becomes natural, and the financial puzzle basically solves itself. That's the assumption. Here's the reality. Take a decent salary, the kind that sounds impressive at a dinner party. By the time federal taxes, state taxes, and every other deduction finishes with it, you're not taking home what you think you are. Depending on where you live, you might be looking at 30 to 40% gone before you see a single dollar. What sounded like financial freedom on paper is already significantly smaller in your actual bank account. Now, build the life that salary is socially expected to fund. If you're earning at that level, you're probably living in or near a city where the jobs that pay that way actually exist. That means housing is not cheap. A reasonable apartment in a safe area in most major cities runs $2,500 to $3,500 a month or more. That's not luxury, that's just normal. Add a car because cities aren't walkable as they promise, and add insurance, and you're already deep into your take-home before you've bought a single meal. Layer in student loans because the degree that helped you get this job didn't come free. Add groceries, utilities, a phone, the professional wardrobe your job quietly requires. Add the gym because you're stressed and need somewhere to put it. Add the streaming services because you need to decompress at night and everyone discusses these shows at work. By the time you finish listing the basics, not luxuries, basics, the margin left over for actually building wealth is shockingly thin. Sometimes it's a few $100s, sometimes it's less. And that thin margin is where every financial dream either quietly gets built or quietly dies month after month, while the salary looks impressive to everyone watching from the outside. But the numbers are only half of the story. The other half is the environment you're living inside when you earn at this level. When your income goes up, so does the social circle around it, and that circle is not struggling. Or more accurately, that circle doesn't look like it's struggling. Everyone around you is performing financial confidence, and the performance is convincing because everyone in it has just enough income to make it look real. You have that friend who just bought a house they clearly stretched for, who now talks constantly about building equity and long-term investment like they have the whole thing figured out, while privately they are hemorrhaging money every month and terrified to admit it. You have the colleague who floats expensive dinner suggestions on a Tuesday like it is nothing, who books group trips to places that cost more than your first month's rent and acts confused when someone hesitates. You have the family member who, now that you are doing well, quietly expects you to carry more of the weight at gatherings, cover more, give more, because you are the successful one now. What nobody tells you is that this environment is more financially dangerous than any money mistake you could make on your own. Because when everyone around you is spending at a certain level, that level starts to feel like the floor. It stops feeling like a choice and starts feeling like the cost of belonging. I call it social wealth theater. Everyone in the circle is performing financial confidence for everyone else in the circle. Nobody wants to be the one who suggests somewhere cheaper. Nobody wants to admit they are not as solid as they look. So the performance continues, the spending continues, and everyone collectively convinces themselves that this is simply what life costs at this level. And here's the part that makes it genuinely dangerous. It feels like success. New experiences, nice things, the respect of people around you. Wealth cosplay mimics the real thing so closely that most people never realize they are in the trap until something breaks. A job loss, a medical emergency, an unexpected crisis. And suddenly, the performance has no funding, and everything held together by the next paycheck collapses at once. Now, I want to talk about something that most people in this situation have not fully looked at yet. Not the monthly stress, not the thin margins, something further out and quieter and significantly more serious. While the income looks solid and the lifestyle looks put together, something is not being built. Real wealth, the kind that creates actual options in your life, the kind that lets you say no to a job that is destroying you, the kind that means a crisis is an inconvenience and not a catastrophe, that wealth is not accumulating, and every single month that passes without building it is a month that cannot be recovered. Think about what 5 years of this actually looks like on paper. Not 5 years of the Instagram version, 5 years of the real version. Same income, same spending, same thin margin, same performance. What is actually there at the end of it? What was built? What exists underneath the lifestyle that would still be standing if the income stopped tomorrow? Here's the question I want you to answer honestly, not out loud, just to yourself. If your income stopped tomorrow, not reduced, stopped, how long could you actually survive on what you have built? Not borrowed, not liquidated from things you'd have to sell at a loss, actually built, sitting there, ready. How many months? How many weeks? That silence you're sitting in right now is the real financial picture, and it matters more than the salary. So here's the thing I want to reframe for you, because this is where most financial conversations stop too early. The lie is not just that income equals wealth. The deeper lie is about what wealth is supposed to look like. From the time we were old enough to notice, wealth was presented to us as something visible: the car, the apartment, the clothes, the travel, the ability to pick up the tab without flinching. We absorbed that definition so completely that we started investing in it, literally spending money to look like the version of wealthy we were shown, without ever questioning whether that version had anything to do with actual financial security. Real wealth is invisible. It looks like nothing from the outside. It's the number sitting quietly in an account that nobody asks about at dinner. It's the option to walk away from something that is wrong for you. It's the ability to absorb a crisis without restructuring your entire life. None of that photographs well. None of that generates any kind of social signal, so nobody optimizes for it, because nobody gets any feedback that they are doing well when they choose it. This is what I mean by wealth cosplay. Not an insult, a description of a trap that catches genuinely smart people every day. You've been spending money to look wealthy instead of become wealthy, and the reason it has felt completely normal is because everyone around you has been doing exactly the same thing with the same unquestioned definition. And I want to be direct about something. This is not a discipline problem. This is not about being irresponsible or careless. Disciplined, intelligent, hard-working people fall into this pattern constantly. It's a definition problem. The entire framework you've been using to make financial decisions was built around the wrong goal from the beginning, and nobody corrected it because the people who taught you had the same framework. So, what actually changes this? Not 30 steps, 3 shifts. The first one is redefine what the scoreboard measures. Stop tracking financial progress by what your life looks like. Start tracking it by what your life could survive. The only number that actually measures real wealth is your runway. How long you can sustain your life without new income coming in. Build that number. Protect it. Let it be the thing you optimize for before anything else. The second shift is make the invisible account win by default. Every financial decision gets filtered through one honest question first. Does this build something real, or does this maintain an appearance? You don't have to become someone who never spends on anything enjoyable, but as a consistent default, when the choice is between something nobody sees and something everyone sees, the invisible thing wins. That's where real wealth actually gets built. The third shift is quietly exit the performance. You don't have to announce it. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone, but start making decisions based on your actual financial life, not the social expectations attached to your income bracket. It will feel strange at first. It will feel like you're falling behind. You're not. You're just finally running a different race, one where the finish line is real. Here's the truth about most people that will watch this video. They will feel it, they will recognize themselves in it, they will agree with almost all of it, and then they will close this video, open something else, and keep living exactly as they were, because the performance is comfortable. Because opting out quietly while everyone around you keeps going takes a kind of courage that nobody talks about and nobody rewards you for in the moment. But you know something now that you can't unknow. The definition was wrong, the scoreboard was measuring the wrong thing, and every month from here is a choice: keep funding the appearance or start building the actual thing. That choice belongs entirely to you. If this landed differently than the usual financial content you've seen, that's intentional. Subscribe to Lyra Invests. This is what we do here. Cut through the noise and get to what actually matters for your financial life. And if someone in your life is quietly stuck in this same trap, share this with them, not as a lecture, just as something worth seeing.